What kind of little boy was he?
Michael, when he was young, he had a lot of energy, always moving around, never could sit still. That was the worst day of my life. Never had that feeling before. And I never want to feel like that again.
Before the fame, before the moonwalk, he was just a hyper toddler who couldn't sit still. Catherine's about to walk us through the making of a legend, one story at a time. Buckle up.
It was rickety, and when every whip would have the agitators would go, you know how they go, cheek, cheek. So this one was so rickety that it had a cheek, cheek, cheekity, cheek, cheek, like that. And Michael was there on the floor wearing a diaper and had his little bottle up in it. He just dancing to the rhythm of what the washer machine made those rickety moves. When I first noticed Michael had talent, the kids were all in a room singing, and Michael hadn't yet joined the group, but they were singing a song, and Michael, about 4 years old, sitting over in the corner, joined in perfect harmony. Where it came from, I don't know. Well, I was there with the children most of the time, and they used to sing in their bedroom together, and they would sing a lot of songs from the Temptations, and when they got really serious about singing, we used to sing together just as a family. When Joe would go to work, we just sing folk songs or sing together, but their harmony was so beautiful. And their older sister, Ruby, would stand by the door and listen with me, and she would start to cry because it was so nice.
A shy family singing together in a bedroom in Gary, Indiana, and one of them would grow up to be the biggest star on the planet. Did anyone in that room have a clue what was coming?
Just like it was his home. He just, I guess you'd say, controlled.
Michael's quiet now. When he was younger, he wasn't that quiet. But I don't know, I think the stage might have done that to him. Because wherever he go, everybody's coming out to see Michael Jackson, want to look at him and see what he looks like. And he said he feels like an animal in a cage. When the kids were growing up, and just before they got ready to come to Motown, I had a real good talk with them, and I told them what they were doing was just another job. It didn't, just because they were in show business, they were going to have a lot of people admiring them and really putting them up on a pedestal. But they're no better than anyone else. I told them then, it's just a job. You're working, it's like everybody else. Don't let your head get too big. There's no room in this house for a big head. It's like someone else have to go to the steel mill, or someone drive a truck because they want to. They're singing, and they're just fortunate enough to be in show business. And he knew he was a big star. You know what? I always felt that there wasn't any jealousy, and the children was happy for Michael. They would be excited when his record go #1.
Katherine kept it humble. Just a job. Don't let your head get big. But we all know how this story goes. Michael didn't just make it big. He redefined what big even meant.
And during that time, most of them were grown, except Janet and Randy. They were still young, but they were teenagers, I imagine. But they all was happy for him. Because my husband was sort of, I should say, very strict about things like that, because where we came from, there was a lot of crime, and we cared about our children. We didn't want them out there in the street running around, breaking in cars and doing like most of the children did back then. Gary, Indiana was a pretty bad place, and I shouldn't say that. People in Gary, Indiana is going to feel awfully bad, but at that time, they had a lot of delinquency. We did things with them in the house, and that's when they started singing. But as far as having a good time and all, they were in the Little League and things like that. Then they learned to play the music.
When you talked about his father being tough with them, was he too tough or not, do you think? Did he have to be that tough?
I didn't think he was too tough, but back in those days, everybody raised their children about the same. If you did something wrong, that was terribly wrong, you got a scolding for it, and you also got a licking, as they called it. But today you can't do that. So Michael looked back at those times and he said he was abused. Well, they call it abuse, but sometime if it wasn't for the strap. Whenever they would do something wrong, Joe didn't whip them all the time, but he'd punish them sometimes. And if it was bad enough, then they would get a punishment with a razor strap or just a spanking on the butt or something like that. But This playing up that he was a very, very, I guess, child abuser, that's not true. He was strict, though. No.
Gary, Indiana, the murder capital of the world, by Catherine's own words. That context matters a lot for what's coming next about discipline in the Jackson household.
What would this world be like today? I don't think it was too strict at all, because where we came from, Gary, Indiana, it's the murder capital of the world.
It was then. I don't know.
It still is. And
No, they call it abuse. When you do something wrong back then, you were let know you was doing something wrong.
You got a spanking.
Yes. And now they say it's abuse.
Do you think that the world has gone a bit soft in terms of
I think
discipline?
it's gone a bit too soft. I really do. And then they have too much things out there for our children to do. And they're too open with a lot of things. So things that we weren't open years ago about. And, I just feel bad because I know that the world is, I think it's doomed.
Do you?
The Bible tells us the world would be destroyed. So I don't see anything that I would do differently because I brought my children up. I tried to bring them up spiritually. After they get grown, you can't control what they do. They're well-mannered children. They're good citizens. I can't think of anything else I would do different, to tell you the truth.
Did Michael maybe miss out in his childhood a little bit because he became a star so quick?
Yes, he did. He missed out on it a lot because by him being the lead singer, he was in the studio a lot.
Catherine's drawing a hard line between discipline and what today gets called abuse. That generational gap is going to come up again, and it's one of the most debated parts of the Jackson family story.
He was always in the studio working and had to go to school after that.
But he chose to do that, right?
Yes, he loved to do that. I guess he thought about it after he grew up. Because he loved to go to, he loved everything he did about it. I imagine he must have liked it a lot because he could have stopped performing anytime he wanted to, and he kept on doing it. He loved what he was doing since he was young. He talked about he missed his childhood, which he did, but then he also said he loved what he's doing now and he wouldn't have had it no other way. But sometimes you have to sacrifice to do what you want to do or get where you want to get. I always feel that I didn't prepare my children for the real world, and I kept them in most of the time. And then right after then, they went into show business.
But knowing what she knows now about kids in the business, would she encourage Michael's children to pursue the same dreams?
I wouldn't let them go into business at this earlier age, like Paris wants to be an actress, but I don't think Michael would have let her because he talked about he didn't have a childhood. And so this is what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't let him go into being an actress or an actor this soon. I don't know why people said he had too much. He did change. Center of your face, and that'll change your looks.
Fame took his childhood. That's a regret Katherine clearly still carries. It's part of why, decades later, she was so protective when it came to her grandkids following the same path.
It's not really plastic surgery. If you don't like your nose, you get it done. He's had plastic surgery, so what? A lot of people have had plastic surgery. His face is whitened because he's had the disease, and instead of having it spotted like a cow or something like that, he just decided to just do the whole thing because he could afford to do it. I get upset too. I think that started in England, didn't it? I think started with those tabloids.
That sounds like an English word.
Many owners, yeah.
Who?
Almost many owners.
But you know, Daphne.
Why is he so upsetting about it? Because he's not weird. They think he's weird. And people look at him as being wacko or whatever. He's not that wacko. To be number one in the world.
You know, I'm tired of people saying this, and this has been going out for years. And this is called divide and conquer. The family's been feuding for 10, 15, 20 years. This is what they're saying out there. Our family have not been feuding, and I think you've been listening to the media too much, young lady. We are together. I'm sorry. And people, the media, just like they're lying on Michael, they lie on everybody.
And
like that. Very next day, I should say, or the same day he left, this is when these allegations came out. I don't understand why they didn't come up while he was here, so he could defend himself.
How do you feel about the allegations being made against your son? The allegations that he sexually abused a young boy?
Totally not true. And I know, and I feel strongly that Michael is innocent of what he's being accused of.
Did your son look you in the eye and say, I didn't do this?
Yes, he sure has. And I know he didn't do it. And he told me, Mother, I would never do a thing like that.
And here's the moment the tone shifts hard. Katherine goes from nostalgic mom to fierce defender, because this is where the 1993 and 2005 allegations enter the conversation.
People should think. Wake up, people. People that abuse children have been put in prison, punished for it. They come back out, what do? Go right back abusing children. If Michael was a child abuser or child molester, it would have come out 25 years ago. Why all of a sudden this one boy comes out and say he abused him? Doesn't make sense to me. I'm angry at the media. Really angry at the media.
Go get him.
Because they're making a circus out of this thing. And they're saying, let's get it while it's hot. And let's don't, because they don't want anything. They know, I'm sure they know Michael's not guilty.
Yeah.
But they've been paying people also to say anything, and I've heard this from people that come back to me and told me when they've been offered money, that say anything. If you know him, just say anything. We don't care. And they've been trying to encourage them to say things that are not bad things. This is what the public wants to hear. They feed off of garbage. They don't want to hear good things.
Because I knew all the time Michael didn't do it.
You had no...
Because he looked guilty.
People are forgetting about the extortion, the $20 million. They're forgetting about the tape. All they want to do, it's been like down a one-way street. All we heard was Michael Jackson, what he did. And they're just allegations.
Well, his lawyers told him that he should just pay the money because Michael was out on tour at that time, and they thought that just paying the money and shut the people up would be the right thing to do. But Michael was upset about it, and I was too, because as soon as I heard it, I called him, and I said, why did you do that? That makes you look guilty. He said, well, the lawyers told me to do it. He said, I didn't want to do it either, Mother. I wanted to fight it because I knew it wasn't the truth. If someone came and molested your son, would you ask him for money? Would you? You can't answer me? No, you wouldn't ask him for money, would you? The first thing you would do was beat their behind, beat them up real good, and then you would call the cops on them, wouldn't you?
Katherine's pointing straight at what she calls an extortion attempt. This is one of the most disputed chapters of Michael's public life, and she's not backing down on her version of it.
Study at the Kingdom Hall, my book study, and someone said, turn the TV on. And I turned on the TV, and there people were making these accusations about Michael. I just couldn't go. And I just sat down and say, not again. He's been proven not to be a child molester, and they know he's not. But some people just want to believe they believe what they believe. I can't stop that. But I wish they would stop and think about it. That he's not a child molester, he's not a pedophile. And he doesn't give liquor to children. These kids were bad kids. He was strong, and he said, Mother, don't worry. It's not the truth. They can't do anything about, it's not. But I told him, you don't know these wicked people. The people are just mean and wicked. I know it's not the truth. But what can you do when they can just, and then they'll tarnish your reputation. And people will always remember you the way they said he was, not the way he really is. Whatever they're saying out there, and a lot of people get on television just to be on television and say things about people. They don't know him. They don't even know what they're talking about. But they have to remember there's a family out there that love that person they're lying on and talking about, and especially a mother. And she have feelings, and she love her children. And they should think about what they're doing before they get on television telling all the lies. And you reap what you sow. There are mean, vicious people out there. And, you know, I think they might have had, I shouldn't say this because I don't know, but just because he loved children, this is the only thing they could get him on.
It's not even the children. That's why it's these wicked grown-ups that's lying, and they know that Michael loved children, and they're trying to get him in trouble because he's around children. But it's about something else.
About money.
And they know this is the only way that they can get him.
Strong words from a mother defending her son to the end. Whatever your take on the case, this is raw, unfiltered Katherine. No PR polish here.
Some people are trying to accuse him of being a pedophile, and that is not true. And they need to stop. And they need to stop saying he paid off the first thing and he's not going to get away with it again. He didn't say, what he meant is he share his room with them. He sleep on the floor. People get the wrong impression. And if you have a dirty mind, that's how you're going to think. And most of the world is like that.
So you don't believe he was touching them inappropriately?
No, not at all. Another thing, too, that ranch was not built to lure little children into there just to molest them, as the prosecutors tried to say. When he let people come out there and enjoy the ranch, everything is free, and he's always been taught to give and to share. And this is what he always say. And when I ask him, Michael, please don't let anyone else come on your ranch, he said, Mother, if I have to help these people now on, I'll help them from a distance. And I was thinking to myself, forget it, don't help them at all if they're going to cause you this much, problems in your life. But he never said that he would not help. People just misrepresent Michael when they say these ugly things about him. He loved children. We used to sit up and watch television, and they show all the poor children around the world. You've seen those feed the children things on television. These children were so sick, flies flying all around their mouth and all of that. And he'd sit there and tears would come in his eyes. And he'd say, one day I'm going to do something about this. This was when he was very young. And, he was a teenager. He said, I know I can't heal the world, but I can help.
How sure are you that your son is not a child molester?
100% sure.
No doubt in your mind?
No doubt in my mind.
And why do you believe that?
I believe that for one reason. I know his character. I raised my son, and I raised him well. Just because he loved children, that don't mean you don't molest anything that you love or hurt anything that you love. And my son haven't done anything like that.
This detail right here, the alleged 2020 statement from his first accuser, is one people bring up constantly online. Worth noting, Katherine's account of it is secondhand, so take it as her belief, not confirmed reporting.
No way. No way could Michael have done that. He would always tell me that the things that he loved the most was children. He would rather slit his own wrist than to hurt a child. And we would sit and talk about that. And he said, people want to make out for me to be this terrible person.
Your son could face 20 years in prison.
Yes, he could.
How tough is that for you as a mother to think about that?
Well, it's hard for me to think about it because I know he haven't done anything. He don't deserve to go to prison because haven't. But I don't put it past them to try to railroad him or plant something on him. I had anxiety sometimes. I prayed about all of that. He was my child and I loved him and I was going to stick by him. Anger, very painful. I can't sleep at night. I do a lot of praying. I can't talk too much about the case, but I know my son, and this is ridiculous. We have a lot of wicked people out there, and they know what they're doing. I can't say anything else. It almost destroyed me in a way, when I say it just hurt, because I know Michael didn't do those terrible things. But then I say, there are so many wicked people. Why are they doing this to him? I just hug him and, you know how mothers are. They cry and all that. So
I don't want to cry now because I don't want to talk about too much, because it's just sad the way they're doing him, and it's not right. He's stronger than I am about it.
You believe that justice would prevail?
Yes, I do. But
If they let it.
the world is wicked. That's why the Bible said, be no part of the world. And you can see what's going on now in the world, how wicked people are.
Do you think he can get a fair trial in Santa Maria?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Do you think the trial should be moved to somewhere else?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel Santa Maria is too conservative of a community?
Probably. Probably.
For an African-American man in Santa Maria, it would be tough?
Probably. And I hear there's a lot of skinheads down in that area. And there's a lot of, what do you say, Aryan Nation or something? As far as Michael being a child molester, that's the biggest lie ever been told. Well, no, I guess nobody seemed to know that his first accuser, after Michael died, there was an article that he came and he confessed and Michael never touched him. It was a big lie, and his father just wanted to be rich. And he said, I'm so sorry I didn't get to tell him this before he died. He even told Michael's father made him do it. I don't know if many people know, but after Michael died, I think his name's Jordan.
Geordie Chandler, yeah.
Yeah, Jordan. He came out and he said he wished that he could have told Michael before he passed, let him know that he had come into the public and admitted he never touched him. I had gone out field service that morning, and Joe had called me.
Field service is?
I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
I know. Field service means you go door to door?
Yes, but that was earlier, so
You still do that?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And I prayed all the way to the hospital. And you know how I must have felt. My heart just dropped.
Heart dropped.
And my nephew kept telling me, pray, Aunt Kate, just pray that everything's okay.
Did you know? In your heart, did you know?
I kind of felt it. But I was wishing that it wouldn't be.
And then when you hear, come to the hospital, it's Michael.
Was sick. They didn't tell me he was dead. They wanted me to come to the hospital. Nobody would say anything. Everybody was waiting for somebody else to tell me. And I said, well, where's Michael? I want to go to his room. I want to go and visit him. You know, I don't know what happened after that. I guess I must have blacked out or screamed or something, but that's what happened. They went back in that morgue where Michael was about 10 times. I was concerned about those shows. I thought it was a little bit too much because Michael hadn't been on stage for about 10 years, you know. And I called them and I told them, because the way they had it structured, they said every other night that he would be working.
And as far as drug addiction, painkillers, it is not uncommon for a person to be addicted to painkillers. So, and he did have an operation on his scalp while he was out there, and also one on his gums. And so that's one reason why he had to take those painkillers, and he got addicted to them.
You know what? I think a lot of that was exaggerated about the different things that he was taking. Because I've been to my son's house unannounced, and I've been there announced. I have never seen him in that way. I know he was taking painkillers because he got burnt on top of his head. Very painful. But all this other stuff they added to it, I don't know if that was the truth or not, but I don't think that have anything to do with the way he died. Every morning, all through the day, I think about Michael. If I wake up through the night, my mind is there. But
what do you think when you think of him?
I just miss him. But being a Christian and believing in the resurrection, I feel that I'll see him again. There'd be so many things I'd like to say to him. But, you know, I can't say what I miss most, but I just miss him, period. I just miss him from not being here. I miss his voice. I miss his singing. Sometimes when we're around, he'd start to sing and he'd end the song, and I'd want to ask him sometimes to sing, to sing it again, because I just loved his voice.
Katherine's grief is still raw all these years later, and that's the note we're ending on today. If this deep dive hit you in the feels, drop a comment on what part struck you most, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.